Looks like we're live.
Yep.
Yeah, can I ask you guys a question about this? I tried something different this week, and I wondered what works best for you guys in comprehending all this.
Okay.
For me, I started out this time with the video, like for lesson 9.
Okay.
And then I went through the preparation part, and then I did the whole reading. What do you guys do?
I do the preparation assignment and then I do the reading. That works for me, because if I usually just read the whole thing, then I don't get as much out, and then when I go to do the questions, I don't remember anything. So I usually read after.
Okay, good. Roommate?
And I usually don't watch the videos.
Yeah, roommate.
Usually don't watch the videos?
Okay, so should we start in question?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Part 1. So, which hypothesis between the null and alternative hypothesis is the hypothesis of no effect or no difference or status quo, or is assumed to be true? So what do you guys get for that one?
Yeah. No hypothesis.
That's what I got. 2. So the alternative hypothesis will represent a one-sided or two-sided alternative hypothesis.
1.
I think it's 1, but is it 1 because the other one doesn't say is not, like it's different? If it was different, it would be 2.
So it would be 2 if, so say you would have another alternative hypothesis saying like the value is less than, no,
right.
Yeah, less than, greater than, less than 0, then that would be 2 of them. So you'd have a less than and a greater than. So it would make it two-sided. Or if it was not equals as well.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Okay, then 3, fill in the matrix below with the correct responses.
That's the correct on the top left and
the correct on the bottom right.
Mm-hmm. And then type 1 for bottom left.
Mm-hmm. And then
type 2 for top right.
Yeah. They're kind of tricky to some of the questions later on about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I thought it was interesting because they talked about what are the greater consequences. That was kind of interesting. But
oh yeah. Okay, 4, define the level of significance in a hypothesis test with which Greek letter is it denoted by? Or, yeah.
what do they call that? They're like a little a to me, but
I think it's alpha.
alpha.
Pretty sure it's alpha. But yeah, what I got was, so the level of significance is the number to determine the probability to either reject the null hypothesis, alpha. So.
Yep. So that would be if it's less than alpha.
Yeah. So then 5 was write down the formula for computing the test statistic, and the test statistic was just the z-score.
Z-score, yep.
Take formula with taking into account the sample size. So. And then 6, define the p-value. How is it used in a hypothesis test? What did you guys get for this one?
So basically it's like the probability that you observe the sample statistic that you did, or one more extreme, assuming that the null is true.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, 7, if the null hypothesis is rejected in a hypothesis test, what is concluded about the alternative hypothesis? So what I got was, we have evidence to say that the hypothesis or their alternative hypothesis is true.
Right. Sufficient evidence, yeah.
Eight's pretty open-ended.
Yeah. It's whatever you found online.
Yeah.
I found just a couple examples.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, I'm just trying to get my paper up here.
You're good.
For me, on number 8, I was thinking about when I was a kid that, the guys were going up in space and they were always worried about what effect that had on them when they came back here.
Mhm.
The first time to the moon, they quarantined them for like a week or something. They were worried about what disease they might bring back with them, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Now we think it's funny, but then we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of examples that I was reading some online. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Danny, we're about to start part 2 of the preparation assignment.
Okay.
So let's go to question 9. So 9 has like 4 parts, but it says the graduate management admission test, the GMAT, is used as admission criterion in many Masters of Business Administration MBA programs. Scores on the GMAT in the past have a mean score of 529. The BYU professor feels now that the score has improved within the last couple years. So first question is part A was determine the null and alternative hypothesis.
And is the null equal to 529? And then the alternative is greater than 529?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. And B, so suppose you got evidence that the null hypothesis should be rejected. However, in reality, the mean score of students taking the exam is still 529. Was it type 1 or type 2 error committed?
Type 1.
Type 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, C, if the analysis was done at the level of significance of 0.01 level, what is the probability of committing a type 1 error?
Just a 1%
Yeah,
chance.
1%.
Can you guys is it always just going to be the 0.01, 0.1, or 0.05 or something like that?
It seemed to be. Everything I was reading showed that.
Mhm.
I was just making sure, I read it right, and I know, because it just seems kind of random that those are the set.
Well,
Where's the
with type 1 error, would it change if the A equaled like 0.05? Then wouldn't it be like a 5% error probability?
I would think so.
No, I think determining the level of the type 1 error, that can have effect of something of the type 2 error. I can't remember, but I think there's something in the reading about that. But
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I didn't quite get all that either.
so okay, D, if we wanted to decrease the probability of making a type 2 error, would we need to increase or decrease the level of significance?
Increase.
I put a question mark on that one though, but
Because isn't the type 2 error the mistake of saying that it's true, but really it's false?
right.
Or, how to say,
Well,
like you,
we failed to reject the
type
null.
2 would be, rejecting the null when the null was true.
Should have been, yeah.
Is that what I remember? Like type 2 error is.
Well, it's one the.
Yeah, because according to the chart, it says reject the null, failed to reject the null hypothesis, and it was false.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, that makes sense now. Yeah, I'm thinking it backwards. So.
And then the type 1 is you reject the null, or you reject the null hypothesis, and it was true.
Gotcha.
I keep thinking of the example of medicine. If the manufacturer of the medicine says it's fine with no side effects, but in reality it had bad side effects. Like in, what was that movie? Can't remember. Anyway.
Okay. Go to 10. I'm just gonna go straight to part A. It says design the study. What is the population from which the realtor obtains his data? How did he sample this population? What is the So what I got is the question is if the average age of those buying investment property in his area is different than the national average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the researcher collects the data from the second home buyers.
Yeah, that's the population, right?
Yeah, and then what is it? How did he sample this population? He just has randomly selected his clients.
Systematic every 3 or something like that, or it could be some random sample.
Yeah. He didn't really specify. This is he's randomly selects 15 of his clients. So, okay, so B, collect the data, name at least one way the realtor could have randomly selected his sample.
You could have done just like Danny said, every third person, or I thought, well, all those who bought a second home.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite. I mean, you could do it in many ways. So. So C, describe the data, graph the data on a histogram, sketch the histogram below, or cut and paste your electronic copy.
I just use that spreadsheet he gave us in the book. Works pretty easy.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of it.
So I guess from this we make, we
Description.
what is it? We we make an inference. So check the requirements since there are only 15 pieces of data. What will you need to check? Do I have that right?
Yeah, I didn't understand that one at all.
Well, according to the answer, I mean, it really was just seeing if the data was normal or not normal. If it was on the line, right?
Yeah, I think.
Or am I looking at the? Yeah, because after we describe the data, we make the inference about it, and we just plot them on the line.
I didn't even know what they're talking about there. Check the requirements.
All the other ones are straightforward, but because it says after state the null and alternative hypothesis after. Yeah, because once I did the histogram, I was able to get to 47. So for my null alternative hypothesis, I got for the null one it was 47 years old, and then for the alternative hypothesis, I got does not equal 47. So
yeah.
I don't know what you guys got.
Yeah, just something different. Yeah.
Do you guys want to go back to the D1 or DI, or no? Or should we just move on?
Yeah, just move on.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. I think I got. Somehow I deleted the question on my preparation. What's the next question?
It didn't have it all really. It just said let A alpha equals 0.05.
Okay.
I don't know. It just looks like a statement to me.
Okay. Yeah. The next part is compute the test statistic for that. And
Wow, test statistic is just the z-score, so it's just that same formula.
Mm-hmm.
everyone get the negative 0.207 then?
Yep.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
In the first value, excuse me, I had 46.733. Is that what you guys had? Minus 47? Sorry.
You said 40.
The value is 46.733. So it comes out a negative 0.267. Is
Let's see.
that what you guys did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Divided by 5, divided by the square root of 15.
Yeah.
So the z equals negative 0.2.
Yeah. That works.
Took me a minute to figure out the 46.733, but once I got it, it worked.
Okay, I guess we'll move on. So now we have to get the p-value. So from that, from the z-score, we can get the probability of, or put it into the applet and get 0.4180, and you times that by 2, and you get 0.84. To have it on each side.
Yeah, I had a 0.86, yeah.
Any questions on that, or move on?
No, that's good.
Okay. Just compare the p-value to the level of significance. Do we reject the null hypothesis or fail to reject the null?
Fail.
Yeah, fail.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's because the p-value is greater than 0.05, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And state your conclusions in terms of the alternative hypothesis. So there's not enough evidence,
Right.
to show that the mean age of people buying a second home is different. So for that, compared to the national average. So then the last question: take action. What action, if any, do you suggest the realtor to take based on your statistical conclusions? What'd you guys get?
Just keep doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just target those 47-year-old people, middle-aged, second home buyers, I guess.
Yep. All right, I think that concludes it. I'll stop the broadcast then. Does anyone have any questions before I stop it, or?
No.
Nope.